Legend has it that Emperor Yan, the sun god, had a daughter called Nuwa, who was very well behaved. Emperor Yan not only controlled the rising and setting of the sun, but also taught the people to grow grains and medicinal herbs. Nuwa was a good and sensible child. When her father was busy during the day, she liked to wear beautiful shoes to play in the fields. Sometimes she would pick colorful flowers and wear them on her head to dress up beautifully. She loved to be in the fields watching the red sun rise in the east, watching the beautiful flowers and green grass grow in the sun, and the cute little animals singing in the sun. And she was so proud because the light and warmth were brought by her father. One day, the girl was watching the sunrise in the field, and she saw a red sun jumping out of the horizon, emitting thousands of rays of light. It dyed the sky red and beautiful. The girl really wanted to go to the East China Sea to see where the sun rose. One day, the girl said to Emperor Yan, "Dad, I want to go to the East China Sea to have a look." Emperor Yan said, "Son, the East China Sea is far from here. I can't go now. I will take you there when my father is free." But for many days, Emperor Yan didn't have time. The girl thought to herself, "Dad is very busy. How can I disturb Dad for my own fun? I might as well do it myself." The next day, the girl secretly came to the water's edge, loaded the dry food and fruit she brought into the boat, then picked up the oar and drove the boat alone towards the East China Sea. All the way, the little fish cheered her on. Soon, the girl arrived in the real East China Sea, and she was attracted by the beautiful scenery of the sea. Ah, the sea is so beautiful. The blue water, the gentle wind, the lively small fish, and the beautiful shells. The girl put down the oar, sat on the side of the boat, put her little feet into the sea, and it was very comfortable. Suddenly, a strong wind blew on the calm sea, and the waves rolled on the sea. There was a rumbling sound from the bottom of the sea, like the waves of Shani overturning the boat, and the girl was swept into the bottom of the sea by the ruthless sea. At this time, Emperor Yan was teaching the people to grow crops in the fields, and suddenly, his heart tightened and he felt that something bad had happened. He hurried home, and when he saw that his daughter was missing, he was very worried. So he hurried to the East China Sea. At this time, the waves of the East China Sea roared. Emperor Yan couldn't see the girl's figure, so he shouted at the sea in a hurry, "Girl, girl!" Hearing the news of the girl's death, the villagers were very sad. They came to the beach with tears in their eyes and shouted the girl's name again and again. Suddenly, a bird with a flower head, a pointed mouth, and red feet rushed out of the water. The bird hovered over the heads of the villagers, constantly making the sound of Jingwei and Jingwei, as if it were shouting or crying. People called this bird Jingwei. It turned out that this bird was transformed by the spirit of the girl, who hated the ruthless sea for taking away her young life and vowed to take revenge. Jingwei took a small pebble and spread her wings and flew all the way to the East China Sea, flying and wailing on the rough sea, throwing stones down, trying to fill the sea. The sea rushes and roars, mocking her, "A little bird, don't look at how big I am. Don't even think about filling me up." Jingwei replied firmly, "Even if it takes 1,000 years, 10,000 years, one day you will be filled up. You can take my life, and you will take more lives in the future. If you can't do it, then try it." The sea roared and rolled up another big wave. "Haha, I'm going to swallow it all up." The Jingwei wailed high in the sky, "I'm going to do it endlessly. You resentful sea. One day I will fill you to the ground." The Jingwei flew, chirped, and flew back to the mountain to pick up stones and branches. She held it, threw it, and flew back and forth for many years, never stopping. Haiyan was deeply moved by the spirit of Jingwei. They became husband and wife, and the birds born, the female like Jingwei and the male like Haiyan, were not afraid of the wind and waves. The little Jingwei bird actually dared to fight against the rolling sea. In memory of her, people also erected a monument on the east coast called Jingwei Oath Water Office.